Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the routine Thursday weekly briefing for Central North Carolina, covering the period from today, March 2nd, through next Wednesday, March 8th. So first, taking a look at the upcoming weather pattern. A cold front is currently near the North Carolina-South Carolina border and will stall near that region today and will provide a focus for some occasional light rain, mainly across southern parts of North Carolina and northern South Carolina, as well as widespread cloud cover across the whole area. And then a separate backdoor cold front will result in a better chance for some rain tonight into tomorrow morning across especially northern parts of the area, the northern Piedmont. And then tomorrow, another cold front will result in a line of showers and potentially storms moving through on Friday evening after maybe a lull in the afternoon. And then high pressure will bring dry weather for the weekend into Monday before the next chance of rain comes Monday night into Tuesday ahead of another cold front. And then we dry out again probably on Wednesday. As for temperatures, they look to be above normal through much of the period, with highs mainly in the 60s and 70s. And then cooling to near normal, however, behind that, that last cold front on Wednesday. So looking at the rainfall forecast through the next 5 days, amounts are expected to be about a quarter to a half inch for most of the area today. And then tomorrow, maybe another quarter to half inch in the northwest Piedmont, lesser amounts as you go to the south and east of there, and then dry weather for the weekend into Monday. So total rainfall amounts for the next 5 days are expected to be around a half to 3/4 of an inch, maybe approaching an inch in the far northwest Piedmont, and then lesser amounts under half an inch across the Sandhills and coastal plain. Looking at severe storm potential for the next week, really the only day that we're looking at right now that has any threat for severe weather is tomorrow. Today, we're going to be much too stable for any threat of storms. And even into tomorrow morning, it's going to be pretty stable. But then as the front lifts back north as a warm front, it looks like we could potentially destabilize enough in the afternoon and the evening for some storms. The biggest threat is across the western Piedmont, it looks like, where the Storm Prediction Center currently has a slight risk for severe weather. And that probably will begin in the early afternoon across the Charlotte area, and then pushing east into the western Piedmont. Best threat is probably going to be from about 5 to 10 p.m. tomorrow, it looks like. And then that line will be gradually weakening as it goes farther east, but there still is a marginal risk for severe weather around the Triangle region down to around Fayetteville. And then after that, for the weekend into early next week, no threat of storms at this time. The main limiting threat for tomorrow will be the instability, which looks to be pretty marginal. Looking at the excessive rain outlook, I just see here timing for the storms on Friday afternoon and evening for Chatham County. I've got a question about that. It looks like the best threat probably is like from, I would say, 6 p.m. to about maybe 11 p.m. or so over there. All right, now looking at the excessive rain outlook from the Weather Prediction Center, we have tomorrow, there is a marginal risk for excessive rain just in the far northwest, and basically in our region, just Forsyth County of central North Carolina. That's the only place that's in a marginal risk, and even that is really looking quite marginal. There could be up to an inch of rain tomorrow and tomorrow night, but the latest models look, the rainfall rates look fairly unimpressive, and it's also, the rain is going to occur over a pretty long period of time, and we also haven't had that much rain recently. So overall, widespread flash flooding is not expected, but can't rule out some isolated urban and poor drainage flooding, mainly in the far northwest. And looking ahead to the 8 to 14 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, so it actually looks like we're going to see a pattern change coming. This is March 9th through the 15th. And we are actually currently in a 60 to 70% chance for below normal temperatures. And that's pretty high. The confidence in above normal precipitation is lower, but it still is slightly favored at a 33 to 40% chance. So with average temperatures in Raleigh, just looking at Raleigh as an example here, during that period, the normal highs are generally in the low 60s from 61 to 63 degrees, and the normal low is 39 to 40 degrees. So below normal temperatures could definitely mean some frost and freeze potential during that period. So definitely keep an eye out for that. I know a lot of trees and flowers have already started blooming, so that's definitely something to watch for agriculture and gardening concerns. All right, so looking at the weather summary here, occasional light rain again is expected to continue today, not expected to be heavy, and mainly across the south. And then a better chance of rain comes tonight into tomorrow morning, highest across the north. And then another cold front will bring a line of showers and potentially some storms in the late afternoon and evening hours on Friday. Then dry weather for the weekend into Monday, with the next chance of rain on Monday night into Tuesday. Temperatures above normal through much of the period, and then cooling down to near normal on Wednesday. And then looking at the hazards and impacts, mainly, really, it's just looking like tomorrow and tomorrow night is the period when we're really the only period that we're expecting potentially even some hazards and impacts. And a line of storms could result in, again, some locally damaging winds, maybe an isolated tornado, as well as isolated flash flooding, mainly in the far western and northwestern Piedmont. But again, marginal instability tomorrow will limit that threat somewhat. And then we're also expecting, even outside of any storms, just strong southwesterly winds on Friday night, gusting as high as 35 to 45 miles an hour. All right, that wraps up the weekly briefing. Does anyone have any questions?